In our next episode of Getting to There, I had the pleasure to sit down with Len Giancola, a highly successful entrepreneur who created the first organization in Florida that handled real estate property management, vacation rentals, and custom home building all at the same time. Len started out on Wall Street and eventually became the youngest managing director of global securities at his company. Deeply affected by 9/11, Len retired from the financial industry in his early 30s and moved to Florida to spend more time with his family and to follow his entrepreneurial dreams. Today, he's focused on taking MJ.com and Pot.com to the next level, so join us as we talk to him about what he's doing now and how he got to there. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Getting to There, where we interview awesome people and find out how they got where they are. Today's guest is Len Giancola, so let's get started. All right, so Len, thank you for joining us so much. Tell us a little bit about your decision to get started in the cannabis industry. You had enough on your plate prior to deciding to do that. What went through your mind and what was the decision tree you went through?
Sure. Well, first of all, Fred, thank you for having me on the show. Super excited. Want to have some fun today. To answer your question, the cannabis industry was nothing that I was familiar with at all. I actually have never even smoked weed my entire life, never even tried it, and I'm 49 years old. And about 2 years ago, a mutual friend of ours, Pete Cook, had a connection to a domain owner for Pot.com, and that led to a license agreement and an acquisition agreement of the domain with several partners, and basically launching that platform, which is being launched a few weeks after we're recording right now. So there's a management team running that. And then from there, I was able to acquire other assets myself with a couple of other partners, such as MJ.com. So MJ.com was just recently launched a few weeks ago and basically connects the cannabis community. It's a lead generation portal for businesses, services, vendors, entertainers, influencers in and out of the cannabis community. And obviously having a 2-letter domain and a 3-letter domain in this industry is quite valuable and gives us a head start as opposed to some of the people that have made up names that had to spend a lot of money during the ramp up period to get people to know what their names were and what their companies were. So we hit the ground with a little bit of an advantage, and it's been a super exciting first month for MJ.com, and I'm happy to answer any specifics.
Awesome. So what's the difference between MJ.com and Pot.com?
So MJ.com.
You can't talk about it yet since Pot's not out yet.
Yeah, Pot.com's on the shelf for a little while, but MJ.com is out there right now. People can go check it out. And like I said, it is basically a lead generation portal. So all of the businesses in the cannabis industry, since it's not federally legal yet, are not able to advertise traditionally. So they need to get their brand out there. So let's say, Fred, you opened a CBD shop or a dispensary. How are you getting Fred's CBD line out to the masses? You cannot advertise traditionally. Well, what we have is we have over 200 million followers on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and that's the new holy grail for advertising these days. So I am able to lead generate. We are step one. And the unique factor about MJ.com is we don't keep all of those eyeballs and data for ourselves. When someone comes to a brand on MJ and they click learn more or buy now, it goes right to the shopping cart of that brand or vendor. So they get the traffic data, they capture the client. All we are is step one in the process of execution and closing that consumer.
Is there anything that you resisted initially that ended up being a really good thing?
Yes. So when Pete asked me to join the team for Pot.com, I said no. For the first 7 months. I didn't want to be part of it with certain people in the industry. It had a bad stigma. It wasn't what I was about. I'm not a user, so I really just didn't have any interest in it. And then I started to see the momentum growing, and then I started to see that I can add value, and adding value to that, that team, and then branching off to expand our portfolio of cannabis assets. We're going to be launching 8 different platforms in 2019. We've already launched 3 of them, and they're all going to be monsters. So what I've done is basically I had the hub, and I've added spokes to that wheel.
That's awesome. So this time next year, you won't be available for any interviews because you'll be so busy and making so much money. So one of the questions I'd like to ask, because it kind of gets people thinking outside the box a little bit. If you were given an award unexpectedly, what would your friends and family think you got the award for?
Making shit happen. That's my superpower.
That's awesome.
If you need to bleep that, go ahead. But that's basically that's my superpower. So you can ask anyone that's ever dealt with me. I think I've done 29 different investor syndications in the last 15 years. I've never lost an investor a dollar, and I'm super proud of that. Some have been small wins, some have been big wins, and now they're about to be gigantic wins. So I'm the executor. So basically, I think every business needs three facets: a connector, who introduces you to opportunities, an executor, which is my specialty, where I actually make it happen and come to fruition, and a backbone, somebody that keeps the structure of the company, the books and records, the legalities, everything, perfect, right? So if you have all three of those facets, and you can wear a couple of different hats, but I like to make sure that I have one specialized in each of those three, and every single company runs like a well-oiled machine.
What's the smartest decision you've made? With all these great decisions in your rearview mirror, what's the smartest decision if you had to pinpoint one or two of them?
I retired from Wall Street at the age of 33, even though I was making 7 figures a year, and I was the youngest managing director in the Americas for my company. I left right at the top of my game because I felt like I peaked early, and it was just, I didn't want to be that guy sitting in a trading desk or a cubicle till I'm 65 years old and hope my 401k is cool and I'm healthy enough to enjoy it then. So I actually retired from the age of 33 to 36 and reinvented myself, and then became a serial entrepreneur, built and exited several businesses, and now have really just jumped that scaling level to another arena.
What's your process for bridging that gap from what you thought was going to happen to reality? Maybe not punching in the face, but giving you something, a curveball you didn't expect. How do you think through that and not lose your motivation along the way?
Sure. So there's different ways of curveballs. It could be a business partner that isn't who you thought it was. That could be a curveball, and there could be a business plan that isn't going according to plan, and you have to adapt and stop on a dime and switch directions. I find that the latter is much easier because business plans are all BS, right? It's just a piece of paper somebody wrote down. It's just a blueprint. It can be changed at any time. And especially, in this day and age, technology is changing so rapidly. Back in the past, it would change every 30 years. Then it was every 10 years. Now it's less than a year where technology is changing rapidly. So things are going to change. Now, when it comes to personal and business partners, I have a one-strike policy. So I've had several business partners, and when I see that you're a fraud or you're pulling your weight, I eliminate them immediately. No questions asked. Boom. I don't care if the relationship's gone. I don't care if they talk crap about me. I eliminate them immediately, and I keep moving. I never stop. So my train keeps moving, and you're either on the train or you're not on the train. and I have a one-strike policy. And once again, sounds maybe a little harsh, but it's been super successful for me.
How do you balance, kicking ass, in the boardroom and kicking ass as a dad and a spouse?
Yep, well, I have a unique situation. So, number one, my wife is my best friend. We've been best friends for 30 years. We've been together for 30 years. We just had our 24th wedding anniversary. We are partners in everything. She is the backbone I described earlier. She's the one who does the books and records. She does all the corporate structure. I'm either on the board or own 32 different corporations. So she keeps track of all of that. And that is not fun right now during tax time and extension time, as we're taping this. So she's running around crazy right now, but she takes all of that off my plate so I can go and execute. So we are partners. When we have conversations, a lot of it's about our businesses because we both are going in the same direction. We're both interested in the same things and building our empire and building a legacy. Now that has translated to my children. They've been investing for 4 years because they heard all of the different things mom and dad were doing, and we waited for them to come to us. We never pushed them. They came to us and they showed an interest, and we started a process that we called the 5-year plan, where they would invest in 5 different investments, and every year they would exit one, even if it was doing well, just to see how a transaction works from beginning to end in different fields.
That's awesome.
And so we have those conversations at dinner. I don't go to work. I don't have an office. My wife doesn't have an office. We built our own home with 2 separate offices in it, and we do all of our work out of here. All of my partners, we're remote, and we do everything online. That's the world you live in right now. I'm holding up a phone right now in the camera. You can do everything from this phone, just like we're talking on a device. You can do everything from there. You don't need an office. You don't need overhead. It's just not needed. So I'm home. I'm present every single day. And I go on dates with them for lunch or dinner every day. We do something together every single day. It's not like an occasion like, hey, on the 4th Tuesday of the month, we're going to go out to dinner and have a date. No, we do that every day. So we travel together. We call ourselves G4. That's the name of the foundation we're starting to help vets and kids, like I said earlier, the G4 Foundation, as we hit certain wealth levels. And it's just something we do together. We like being around each other, and we just have a blast, man. You only get one shot at this, so why not make it awesome?
What is next for you? Like, I am so excited for whatever you have. Like, do you have what's next, or is pot.com and that focus going to be consuming you until you find something next? Do you already know what's next? Or
yeah, I have a short attention span, so I know that my attention span is only a few years. I would be shocked if I'm still in this industry in 3 or 4 years from now. I'll probably exit by then. My next, I don't know what it is, because I didn't know Cannabis was going to be it, and now MJ.com, we have pot.co, we have a Hits Blunt Instagram page, just hit 3 million followers. We have so many different things. I just started a podcast. Can I plug my podcast, Fred?
Absolutely, go ahead, please do.
It's called All About the Len Giancola. It just released last week. I hope to have you on it one day, and it's pretty cool, where I just talk about that money is not a taboo subject and how to attain it, and have some funny guests, have some valuable guests. So anyway, check it out. It's on iTunes, just came out last week. But I'm just doing different things. Figure out what your strength is. Everyone has one. I'm not smarter than anybody else. I just maybe had a bigger set of to go try it. And once I tried it, I learned. I didn't know everything at first. I learned during the experience. Now, over 15 years of doing for myself, I'm pretty sure I can walk into any room and close any deal with anybody on anything. That's just how I feel. Can I? Probably not, but I feel like I can. And that was because I took that leap. I took that chance. I just left an awesome job and tried it. Did I know what was going to happen? No, but I was confident that it was going to work out, and it has. So just go take a shot, man. Swing the damn bat. Don't look for a walk. Swing the bat.
That is awesome. I can't think of a better way of closing out this phenomenal interview. Len, thank you so much for your time. We will make sure we put a link to your podcast. Glad to have you. Glad to catch up with you as things progress and have you back, and you can tell us all the cool stuff that you can't tell us about now. Thank you so much for being here. Looking forward to catching up with you.
Thank you, Fred. Thanks so much for having me. Had a great time.
Take care, Len. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. That's what you have to do. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Getting to There with Fred Hubler.